In a world where people leak trailers cause they're assholes, this is Rated R for Reviews Comic-Con Special!
Good morning, Vietnam! You are a toy!
My sons were better men.
She wouldn't even harm a fly.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
What's going on, reviewers? As always, he's Mike.
And he's the reviewer you deserve, but not the one you need.
And today we're going to talk about our Comic-Con special because it's going on this week. Today's the last day, actually, right?
I believe so.
Yeah.
Started, what, Friday?
Yeah, goes till today. A lot of fucking big news coming out of this year's Comic-Con.
Trailers galore!
I was excited.
Yeah, they released probably 5 trailers for projects that aren't finished yet.
I remember going online and just seeing like, ooh, that's out. Ooh, there's a trailer for that. Ooh, there's a teaser.
Yeah.
There's another trailer.
I was on Xbox and you're just like, hey, there's a Justice League trailer. I'm like, you're fucking lying to me. Like,
Look, Wonder Woman trailer. Look, new Suicide Squad.
It's insane. Alright, so let's give a quick rundown of the trailers that have been released. We had, on Marvel's side, Luke Cage, Defenders, Iron Fist, and Doctor Strange.
And they also announced a new Daredevil season. Like, they officially announced it. Like, we knew we were getting it, but they officially announced the Daredevil
Season 3.
Yeah.
What do you think's going to happen?
In Daredevil?
Yeah.
I don't even know. As long as there's Punisher, then I'm okay with it.
Punisher's getting his own series, so...
He's got to be in it a little bit, though.
To be honest, I guarantee you won't see Punisher in Season 3. I bet you'll see him in maybe the Defenders.
Because Season 2 ended with...
Elektra in the chamber.
Right, them in the chamber, so it's got to do something with... Clearly something with that.
Yeah.
But is, like, Elektra going to be brainwashed or something and try to kill or attack...
I don't think she'll be brainwashed, but I definitely think she'll be more, Elektra than she was in this season.
Yeah.
But Luke Cage looks fucking awesome. If you haven't seen the trailer for Luke Cage, go check it out. Netflix has done something really special with their properties. They ground it
Beating
so
people up with a fucking car door.
He wraps a car door around somebody like a burrito.
Awesome.
And then throws him. What'd you think of the Defenders teaser?
I'm excited for it. Them crossing over all the TV shows that they just announced is very...
It sounds like Stick's going to be the main factor in it. Which is cool.
I'm a huge fan of Stick, actually.
Yeah, Stick's a real good character.
Especially in the comics, how he's able just to... He's like the best tactician you could ever have on a team.
I think it was a mistake releasing anything from the Defenders right now.
What, too early?
Yeah, I mean, okay, so yeah, you're going to build up hype, but as it goes along, if you don't keep peppering us with something, we're going to start to forget about it and it start to fade out of our minds.
But I mean, they're going to give us the entire Iron Fist show, the whole Luke Cage show. They're going to
Luke Cage, Iron Fist, then Defenders. Nice, man. Nice. Anyways, Luke Cage, Iron Fist, then the Defenders, but I like the song, how they did it with the Nirvana song. It's just images, and it's not even images of the characters.
It really was just a teaser.
Yes, but we're still a year away from it.
Right.
It's like everybody is going nuts for Injustice 2, but we're still a year away from it. Like, why are they showing all this stuff already? We're not going to be able to do anything with it for a year.
Just to build up hype, and hell, they have another Comic-Con in between it.
Think of it like this, ready? You're mad hype for something, right? What happens if you die before it comes out? Let's get deep.
It's like that South Park episode where he wants to Nintendo
Yeah, he freezes himself. Wakes up in the year like 3000 something where otters are taking over. Why would you eat on tables when you could just eat on your belly?
Eat up your tummy. Are you excited? Are you more excited for Iron Fist or Luke Cage?
I am a bigger fan of the Iron Fist character than I am of Luke Cage's character. But I'm really excited for Luke Cage because of that.
That burrito that he gave us?
Yeah. But I liked it. I thought he was the best part of Jessica Jones other than Kilgrave.
Mm-hmm. That was a great villain.
Yeah. Easily one of Marvel's best villains, and they put him in a fucking TV show.
That's not saying much, though. Marvel villains have been pretty weak.
We got hope for you, Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. I'm probably more excited for Iron Fist because I've read not all of them, but I've read a bunch of his comics. The Rand character is really cool.
Rand?
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know who Danny Rand is essentially a young multi-millionaire whose parents are killed, and then he goes and trains in a remote, like, what is it, Kung Lung?
Yeah, somewhere.
That's his fighting style, but what's the place? The Kunlun?
Sure.
He goes and trains with like these monks, and in order to get the power of the Iron Fist, he has to defeat a dragon. So there might be, that in this show, which should be pretty awesome
Yeah,
to see.
it's gonna be cool to see how and what powers they give him, and all the kind of the backstory if they do a backstory. with him.
He'll be the most mystical of the Netflix series.
Yeah, of the Netflix.
Yeah, I mean, Doctor Strange is going to be the most mystical of the movies because it's magic.
Yeah, he kind of has to be.
Yeah, but I'm definitely excited with what they're doing, man. Marvel knows what they're doing. At this
Marvel
point.
can do no wrong ever since the MCU started.
I mean, Iron Man 2.
But I mean, if that's the worst they're giving us,
Yeah.
compared to literally name a Warner Brothers production,
Thor the Dark World was pretty shit.
I like Thor: The Dark World.
It was pretty bad. Thor 1 was pretty special.
I mean, I didn't hate Thor: The Dark World though.
No, but it was definitely a step back.
It was a step back, but can't always go up.
And I like Malekith as a villain. Like, there's an Avengers Earth's Mightiest Hero episode where Malekith is like trying to take over the world, and that episode was awesome. And you just don't get that from nothing against Christopher Eccleston. I just don't think they gave him much to do.
Did you happen to see the Hulk armor from Thor Ragnarok?
The Gladiator armor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it confirmed that that's Hulk?
I mean, it has to be.
The guy in the video says it's Hulk's armor, but he sounded like a chotch. You know what I mean? Like, he just, this is Hulk's Gladiator armor.
It looks just like the ones from Planet Hulk.
Yeah,
The
comic
right
and the movie.
in the movie. It looked just like it. But so Hulk is going to be wearing that armor, but how are they going to use it? Is Hulk going to be fighting Thor, or is Thor and Hulk going to be teaming up to fight something else with the Hulk
So
armor?
have I told you this? But I guess there have been reports that Banner and Hulk are going to be separated.
Yes, you did tell me that.
Okay. If they do that, do you think we're getting a more intelligent Hulk? Like a Hulk that thinks for himself?
Yes.
Instead of just, we're going to put
If
this armor on
they
him.
do separate, I think they are.
Okay.
Because I don't think if they just a brute.
We've seen bits of Hulk with intelligence.
Yeah.
Puny God.
Right. And we've also seen, I mean, the comic books fans know that Hulk isn't just this giant, like Planet Hulk.
Look at Mr. Fix-It.
Right. The Planet Hulk
He has a wife and kids.
animated movie was really good with this.
Killed.
Where he pretty much just the leader of an uprising,
Yeah.
which is badass.
Which I think they're going to... Okay, so you got the Grandmaster, played by Jeff Goldblum. Awesome.
Yeah.
He's the brother of the Collector in the comics, who in the movies is played by Benicio del Toro, and you've seen him at the end of Thor 2. You saw him in Guardians. He's the one that they gave the Aether to in Thor 2.
Great character.
And then, yeah,
Great character.
yes. And then they tried to give the Power Gem to him as well, but he blew it up. Well, that chick did. I would no longer be your slave. But I have the fear that it's gonna be too. Hey, it's a Hulk Thor buddy space cop movie.
Yeah.
Like, no, let them fight.
Yeah. I mean, who's the villain in it? Have they announced it?
It's gotta be Grandmaster.
Think so?
Yeah. I mean, well, Hela's in it.
So,
Played
yeah.
by Kate Blanchett.
So I mean, it would make sense if Thor and Hulk kind of team up to take him out.
Yeah, but like I said, Hela's in it. So is he the villain, or is he the one behind the tournament, and then she's the master, puppeteer?
Right. And how does he get there? Hulk get to
Right, like, okay, so
Asgard. Because last time we saw, he was in that ship that crashed in the
Again,
middle of the ocean at the end of...
Joss Whedon left so many fucking plot holes with Avengers
Unless
Age
it's-
of Ultron.
Unless this answers them. Unless the movie starts off with him there, and then somehow Hulk goes and grabs him because he needs help defeating this...
The only plot hole answered I have seen so far since the new movies have come out is Tony Stark was made to come to terms with how bad he fucked up creating Ultron in Civil War. Mm-hmm. And it's one scene. I don't even feel like that was enough. It's the one scene where my son, she was like, my son was in Sokovia because he wanted to help out, and your creation dropped a fucking planet on him. Or, a city on him. But I want to see this come more cohesive together. It needs to be explained well. It shouldn't just be, oh, Brother Hulk, I need you. Oh,
Right.
And then, Hondo. Space bridge shit.
Right.
But I guarantee you that's what they're gonna do.
Most likely.
Yeah.
It's the quickest, most obvious.
Yeah.
Just bring them up. I need help. Let's get on with the movie.
At this point, Marvel gets the pass on the stupid stuff because they've delivered on each property.
They're at 13 movies now.
Oh god.
I think they're at 13.
Iron Man's 1 through 3, Cap's 1 through 3, 6, Thor's 2, so 8, Ant-Man, Avengers 1 and 2, Guardians, Hulk.
13.
Am I forgetting one?
No, it's 13.
13.
Yeah.
And then you got Doctor Strange coming out, so
In November.
14th, yeah. Oh, so wait, no, Civil War was 1 through 3. Okay.
Yeah. So, yeah, they've been spot on with all of them. So I think they get a pass if it's just a quick, let's just wrap this up and get on with the show.
Yeah. I mean, I just don't want another cave sequence like from Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Okay.
The water. The biggest news, I think, for Marvel was Brie Larson was cast.
Yes, the Miss Marvel casting.
They have an Academy Award-winning actress starring in their first female-led film.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. Like, they've had Academy Award winners. You know? Robert Redford.
Robert Redford.
Yeah. I can't believe... You know the one dude... You saw Civil War, obviously.
I did.
You know the dude who was like, "Oh, Mr. Stark, thank you for the dean of that college," that like talks to him for a second. Well, he was in Community, which was done by the Russo brothers.
I know.
He's an Oscar winner
Is he really?
for like a short film or something like that.
That's funny.
So there's another one.
That's funny. No, I'm excited for Miss Marvel. I mean, I think DC kind of beat him to the punch with the whole female lead, but
will it be better?
that's the question. History has said yes, Marvel's going to be better.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know. Wonder Woman's got so much source material that works. If they just follow it, they'll be fine.
Well, I guess the supposedly Marvel is supposed to be in Guardians 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I guarantee you we're going to see the setup, if not a cameo, by Brie Larson. And that's why they're releasing the fact that she was in it. Or she is Captain Marvel. Because
So when she shows up, people are like, dope.
Mm-hmm. They might even set her up in Guardians 2 completely.
Yeah.
You know? Whether or not they go back to Earth at the end. And Marvel crashes.
Do you think they'll do an origin story for her? Because you know Marvel hates origins, but not a ton of people know Miss Marvel's storyline. With like Spider-Man, you can just be like, he got bit, everyone knows it. But Miss Marvel,
But that's
people
only
don't
because
know
he's
it.
had 6 movies before this.
So you think they're going to do a Miss Marvel origin?
Yeah, I think they need to. I mean, Doctor Strange is an origin. Ant-Man was an origin. And they didn't even do the original Ant-Man. They did Scott Lang, which worked out fucking awesomely.
That's probably it's up there like my top 3 Marvel movies. I love it,
man.
It's just
so
Paul
good.
Rudd.
Yeah, dude, he co-wrote it with
Did he really?
Peyton Reed. Yeah,
That's awesome. I love Paul Rudd.
so I'm really excited. Let's get into the TV series again real quick. To talk about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, have you heard all the buzz around Ghost Rider being in season 3 or season 4?
I saw the announcement, that quick little commercial thing that where it's just his skull sitting there.
When they first showed the bus or train passing by and it was the chains on fire, I wasn't one of the people who was like, "Oh, that's Ghost Rider, that's Ghost Rider," because in season 3 they have the one Inhuman that anything he touched turns into something like that.
Yeah, he's the one that kills the Doctor.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't think of his
Freaking May's
name. Right.
husband or ex-husband.
He kills that guy.
Yeah. God, I forgot what they called him.
It's like Kronk or Krang
It's
or
not
something
Kronk,
weird.
and it's not Krang. Krang's a Skrull, and Kronk is from the Emperor's New Groove.
I want him in everything. No, wait a minute.
He's got a point.
He's got a point. But, so yeah.
They're not doing Johnny Blaze.
Are they doing... I forget the fucking other guy's name.
I feel like it's a Reyes because every Hispanic comic book character's name is something Reyes. Jaime Reyes is the Blue Beetle, and then it's probably like, I want to say John Reyes, but it's not.
But it's gonna be weird to see how he fits in that world, though.
Are they going to do... I know he's got a brother, and he's killed, and the whole point is he gets the power of Ghost Rider to avenge his death and stuff like that. And protect... But how is it going to fit in? They've set up the Inhumans universe. That's why I don't think we'll ever see that Inhumans movie, even though they totally should.
It'd be cool.
Dude, I am on board for the Vin Diesel Black Bolt rumor. Mm-hmm. Like, yes, we get his voice in one movie and we don't get it in another. Like, how awesome would that be? You know?
And with the new Civil War 2 coming out in comics, it's kind of perfect time to set up because the Inhumans have such a big role in that comic
They're
series.
the new mutants for the comics.
Everyone knows them right now. They're learning them. They're learning all these new characters. How cool would it be to put them in a movie and kind of just have great fan service of people that are currently reading Civil War 2? Be like, oh, I know who that is. Yeah. Oh, she's cool. That guy's awesome. This is a great fucking movie because I recognize all these these fucking characters.
Did you finish season 3 for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I did.
Did you see how it ended?
I did.
Okay, spoiler alert. They kill off 2 characters.
Uh-huh.
And one of them had been around since season 1. So I have a feeling we'll see him again.
We have to see Ward again. And
Yeah. But I'm really upset they killed off Lincoln.
Yeah. But now she's got to get a new love interest.
I know. But, you know,
They're
no
just
one will
going
ever
through.
beat Ward from the first season when he turned out to be Hydra. And
Dude, you love to hate that guy.
I know.
He did a fantastic job.
he showed
as
up at all the
villain.
Comic Cons while they were wearing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. shirts. He'd be wearing a Hydra shirt. Like-
What's harder to get in a good hero is getting a good villain. And
Yeah.
Marvel hasn't had the best villains. So have a good villain that people love to hate.
Ward was up there.
It's
I didn't love
so
to hate him.
good.
I loved him as a villain. I was like, I get this guy.
Yeah, that you love to hate him. He's
Yeah.
just that perfect villain of
I wanted him
But
to be
he's so
redeemed so
charming.
bad. Yeah.
But I mean, they can't keep him dead. He's too popular. He's like Wolverine.
I mean, he's
can't-
not like Wolverine.
You can't kill Wolverine and keep him dead. He died, a year ago at this point?
Yeah, but is he back yet?
I haven't read him. I feel like he is after fucking
Secret Wars?
Secret Wars.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, he's got to be back now.
Or on TV shows again. Legends of Tomorrow, it was announced that they're going to be squaring off against Legion of Doom. Did you check out Legends of Tomorrow?
No, I haven't even touched it yet.
Really?
Yeah, have you?
Yeah, man. I think Legends of Tomorrow might be their best show.
Really?
And I love the
I'm
Flash.
all over Flash, and Flash is amazing. So Legends of Tomorrow is better than Flash.
Dude, okay, so the week Civil War was coming out, right? They put out an episode. And in the episode, there's this giant fucking robot that's, like, just destroying shit.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, Ray Palmer turns around and is like, well, I have been working on something. And he goes giant in it. He goes Atom Smasher. And I'm just like, they just beat Marvel to the punch. Because everybody knew Giant Man was going to be in Civil War. That had been spoiled like a long time ago by, thank you, Pop Funko. Like, I collect all your Marvel stuff.
Yeah, all
but
of a sudden they released Giant
a
Man.
Giant
so,
Man.
yeah.
Like, what the hell? How is that not a... Like, come on. Marvel. But it looked really good, too. For a TV show, the budget, they have a lot of money behind that show.
Yeah.
And it proved it because it looked fucking great. When Grodd came out on Flash, he looked kind of iffy. Until the second time they showed him, he looked a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
And this looked like Ray Palmer fighting a giant robot. It looked great. But there's some stuff they can improve upon. Like, there were some weak-ass love stories.
I just want to see the Legion of Doom's headquarters in that swamp. Remember from like the old...
Meanwhile...
I want that so bad. Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom, and they're all sitting on a table like, all right, what should we do?
You know the Family Guy joke where it's like, meanwhile, not now. Sorry. Just
Yeah,
goes back now.
I would love to see that.
Yeah, it'd be great. I mean, they set up the Justice Society and the Legionnaires at the end of it with the Legion ring.
Yep.
And then Our Man came back. So we'll see where it goes. I'm really excited for the second season. Listen, Arrow has dropped off. There's no denying that.
Dude, I remember the first 2 seasons. I was like, this is awesome.
I
this
still
is cool.
think the second season of Arrow might be one of the greatest seasons of this TV series of all
But
time.
then season 3 hit, and
Shit. I hate it
yeah.
so much. He's not Batman. Just let it go. He's not.
What's
But-
DC looking like?
You got the Wonder Woman trailer, which released yesterday, before all these trailers did. And, except for the Marvel trailers, they released Friday. Justice League trailer came out last night, which, if you've heard any of, like, the stuff where they had the set visits, those are pretty much the scenes they talked about. So, there was some speculation that there would be a Justice League trailer. There's a lot of heat coming off BVS, and they're trying to really, rebrand DC as the the cinematic universe of the future.
And how many trailers had fucking Suicide Squad came out from the past week? Was there been 2
13?
or 3? Yeah, like, fucking insane because they had the Joker.
The Joker
trailer,
special, Harley special,
then the soundtrack special,
and then
like trailer 2 came out.
the Enchantress clip.
Right. So they're just throwing trailers at us, trying to get a hype because it comes out in 11 days, 12 days.
August 5th.
Yeah. So
August 5th.
I'm excited for that. I tried not to get excited for it because of BVS. I'm like, fuck, they're just gonna keep fucking us. And then these trailers came out, and like, damn it, I'm excited.
Yeah. I might have hated BVS, but I defend parts of it.
Well, yeah.
But I don't think there's going to be a need for defending for Justice League and Suicide Squad. I really think they listened to the fans' outcry and was just like, all right, maybe we shouldn't make them just upset bastards.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think of the Wonder Woman trailer? Let's talk about Wonder Woman for a second because she will be the first standalone female superhero since the 1980s Supergirl, which, if anybody has seen that, I suggest you really take some time out of your day and just destroy a copy if you ever find it.
Right. Before I talk about the trailer, I feel like that's what Marvel missed on, is they're not going to be the first ones to get a woman.
I mean, they've had the heroes in, but not her own stand.
Not her own stand. Like, how easy it would have been just for them to throw a Black Widow in, just for...
Yeah, Feige's been talking about that. He thinks he's trying to get that going now.
Right, but, so that is a step in the right direction, but in regards to the trailer, I enjoyed it. I feel like I kind of expected more, and not much really seemed like it happened in it.
I am beyond excited for the Wonder Woman movie. Patty Jenkins as the director. She was the Oscar-winning director for Zero Dark 30. She also was married to James Cameron.
What I liked too in it was the looked like the special effects were on point, like her throwing her lasso around.
Yes. You know, that looked a little cartoony for me, but I guarantee you it's just because it's the trailer.
I saw someone online broke it. Bless you. Someone online broke it down where she was like throwing her whip with like both hands. Like she whipped it with one, and as she was coming back, she whipped it with the other one.
Really?
And it looked so sick. Someone broke it down in slow motion, and I was like,
it looks like she's gonna. The best thing the Justice League animated show did was Wonder Woman was the ass kicker. Like, yeah, they had Superman, but they never really had Superman just beat someone down. But Wonder Woman was always coming in and just whooping ass, which I think they're gonna do here too, which I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Justice League though. Let's all take a step back and just say we forgive you, Zack Snyder, if this is amazing. Like,
the trailer is spot on. You couldn't have been a perfect trailer.
I'm a little hesitant with the Flash, just because I like
They
Grant Gustin.
sold me so hard on the Flash.
He looks fine, but the only hesitation I have is the fact that you notice how he's kind of like, I don't have any friends, or I don't have many. Like he seems kind of a little Lex Luthor-y to me, you know, playing a weirder.
Yeah, I could see that, but they're going.
I think he's just going to be like a really light character.
They're going
and that's
young
why.
Barry Allen.
Yeah. How
Yeah.
great did Cyborg look?
You look pretty badass,
dude. The red eye alone looks phenomenal, and then they added the blue light like at the top of his head, like the original. I'm just like, dude, he looks fucking great.
That picture they have of the still of all 6 of them standing there, and you really get to like look at Cyborg.
Yep. Dude, freaking
so good.
It looks like there's a new bat suit at a certain point.
It did. It looked different than the one in BBS.
It might have just been the angle, but it definitely looked like there's another. I heard his mech suit is back in this.
Oh, in
Like
Justice League?
Yeah, he'll be wearing that armor again at some point.
The same one.
Which makes sense if they're fighting Steppenwolf, and you know the whole reason Batman didn't really do much against Doomsday was he couldn't.
Yeah, he kept shooting those fucking darts at him. Kryptonite bullets.
Yeah.
But I mean, do you think they're gonna have a 7th? Because you and I talked about the Unite the 7.
Seven.
You thought meant Unite the 7 Seas. However, I'm saying I think it's Unite the 7 members.
Okay, so there's a lot of speculation on that. From day one, I always thought it was Unite the Seven Seas. I never once thought it was Unite the 7 characters.
See, right from the get-go, I thought it was Unite the 7
And
members.
a lot of people did.
And then you came along and was like, no, it's 7 Seas. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Yeah, because, well, it's just
Or
an
is
Aquaman
it?
still.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't make, like, and they released that when they were like, all right, Jason Momoa is cast as Aquaman. And then they put out what he was going to look like right there. And I was right on board saying he looked fucking awesome.
He's going to be a great Aquaman.
Like, Aquaman is one of my favorite characters from DC.
Especially in the original animated where he chops off his own arm with
cuts
the
his-
hook to save that kid. How bad
Uses
is
his
that?
belt buckle to cut his own hand off to save his son. Like, that's a badass motherfucker
Yeah.
right there.
So I want them to put GL in it. I love Green Lantern.
I don't get why he wouldn't be.
He's like one of the originals
Listen,
staple.
I get the Green Lantern movie didn't work. I don't blame Ryan Reynolds for that.
No, he wasn't the problem with that.
He was not. I think he was a pretty good... If you're like me, you wanted Nathan Fillion, but that's just because if you're like me, you want Nathan Fillion for everything.
Wonder Woman, Nathan Fillion.
You'd kill it.
Yes.
But I was good with Ryan Reynolds. It was just a weak script. And why was Parallax a poo cloud?
Mm-hmm.
Like, that made no sense. And the weird-headed guy that they were supposed to make into... it's just stupid.
Right.
Do you remember, like, Green Lantern came out, and they did the same... They did two mistakes that Marvel films have done in the past. When the Incredible Hulk movie with Ed Norton came out, they did the guy who was supposed to become the leader, right?
Uh-huh.
And they make his head all big and weird. They do that in Green Lantern, and then they didn't learn from Fantastic Four's mistake with Galactus being another poo cloud.
Another poo cloud?
I don't know. I'm very excited for this. I think Green Lantern should be in it. Personally, if I were them, I wouldn't have done Cyborg.
If I was just about to say that, if instead of him, I would have put Martian Manhunter.
Yes, agree.
Yeah.
I agree 100% on that.
Because he's the one that builds the
Watchtower.
Watchtower, yes,
Yeah.
and orbiting the Earth,
Yep.
and so he's like a huge part of it.
He is as strong as Superman, and he always gets underplayed.
And he can shapeshift, so you can just play with that so much.
Yeah.
So that would just be a really...
And how cool would it be to see, like, the Martian race?
Yeah.
That'd be so cool.
Get, what's his fucking niece's name? Megan?
Megan.
Megan.
Hello, Megan.
How cool would it be if they did like a Young Justice?
Well, there's talks about the Cyborg movie being changed to not just a solo Cyborg movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess the common thread right now is that it's going to just be called Titans.
So it'd be like a Teen Titans, dude. I'm so down.
My only question is, there's a shot in the trailer, and it shows Victor Stone, a.k.a. Cyborg before he becomes Cyborg, walking around with his, like, you know, it's probably going to be like Metropolis University or something, Letterman jacket. So obviously they're taking he was the football star route. How is that going to be a flashback? Because in BVS they show him becoming Cyborg.
Right. It has to be a flashback because he was in BVS. He was getting the test done in the lab. He's strapped up to that fucking machine, which is probably the coolest fucking shot in the whole.
I loved that shot.
Yeah.
A lot of people fucking hated it.
Nah, that was the coolest. fucking-
Aquaman's was the worst,
Yeah, it was-
and that upsets me because I love Aquaman. Like, bloop, bloop.
He's slowly creeping up. Like you don't know what a camera is, and you're
You ever
the
seen-
leader of a fucking.
Yeah, you ever seen them videos of the crabs that like have taken people's knives and they're just walking away, and you're like, oh, this crab has a knife. Like, what is he doing? And then you know you got Aquaman holding his trident like a crab
What's
with
he
a
doing?
knife. Yeah,
Where's he doing? Where's he going?
But I'm really excited for this. I think all hesitations have gone out the window for me. Mm-hmm. There was one comment Zack Snyder made. He was like, I'm going to try to make this like Seven Samurai. And then there's a shot where there are samurai in the movie. And I'm like, well, okay. And it looks like they're burying a mother box. Mm-hmm. They're burying a square box. But it looked a little different than the ones we saw in BVS. So I guess Themyscira has a mother box. There are 4.
Yeah.
Themyscira, the Atlanteans, another one, and then the one in Cyborg.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say Cyborg has one.
Mm-hmm. I don't know where the other one is supposed to come from, though.
But it's gonna be like the Marvel's fucking stones, the Infinity Stones.
Yes, basically.
You gotta keep track of them all, and it's gonna be a fun little thing for the
fans.
hardcores to be able to like, okay, one's there, one's there, one's there.
I totally called Loki's staff having a stone in it.
Mm-hmm.
Nah,
So,
man.
I mean, if they do that route with like a bunch of Easter eggs where people can look, and it's kind of that extra element of being able to see things in the movies, that'll be a really cool element to play around with.
Yeah, they tried to do a lot of Easter eggs and a lot of fan service in BVS, but it didn't come off.
That's
good.
why Guardians is one of my favorite Marvel movies, because there's so many Easter eggs.
There's still one nobody's seen. I think I found it. To be honest, I think my dad found it.
Which one is it?
Okay, so in the collector's chamber,
There's a fucking dick
there's
ton there.
yes, but I think it's a very blurry image. I think Yoda is in one of the cages.
He's like like a doll or like the actual Yoda?
like Yoda, like
awesome.
or a Yoda race.
I gotta go back
It would
and look
ma-
at that.
Look at how much Star Wars stuff they've been doing in the Marvel universe. all
Disney
the cutting
owns
off the
Marvel
hands.
and Star
Yeah.
Wars, so it makes sense.
But I really, my dad was like, "Is that Yoda?" And he froze it like right at the perfect time, where it's just this fuzzy little outline. It was like, "Holy fucking shit!" Good, like, Dad, all right, good for you. But if you're listening, James Gunn, is Yoda in the movie? I might send you a tweet later. Get back to me as soon as possible. Thanks, man. Appreciate it, bro. My personal favorite takeaway from this so far has been the Flash season 3 trailer.
Dude, how cool did season 2 end? First of all, before we get to season 3,
setting
season
up
2.
They set up two things that are really interesting. In the final shot of his fight against Zoom, the time wraiths come in and take Zoom away, and in doing so, he gets like transformed into the Black Flash. Which, if you don't know, the Black Flash basically is death. He runs after speedsters, and if he touches them, he basically kills them. Kind of like a Grim Reaper, but for Flashes. And that's fucking scary. Mm-hmm. Especially because it's like, yes, he's as fast as they are. So no matter how fast they run, he can catch them. The only thing I don't want is for it to be another speedster villain as the big bad for season 3, which it's looking like they're setting up doing with the Black Racer. As so, if you didn't see the trailer, they set up Flashpoint Paradox.
Yeah, the first episode is called
Flashpoint.
Flashpoint.
And in the trailer, they even have Eobard Thawne reference. Well, we should just call this your Flashpoint.
Right.
I think that basically Barry Allen is going to come in. He's not going to have his powers. His parents are going to be alive. I think Flash is going to essentially have no powers, and I do think Thomas Wayne is going to be here.
I would love for them just to give a Flashpoint Paradox.
I think they're going to have to change it.
Well, I mean, yeah, it's going to be hard to verbatim put that on screen, but
If it's not Thomas Wayne, what do you think of Robert Queen?
I would prefer Wayne.
Yeah, but they haven't set up a Batman character other than Green Arrow. So why would he meet Thomas Wayne?
True, you're right, but just that inner fan of me is like, you got to do it. He's like such a big part of Flashpoint.
Yes, but again, there was a Batman that was set up within that universe, whereas the Batman set up in this
So,
universe.
I mean, most
Green Arrow.
likely, if they do a father takes over route, most likely they'll go Queen.
I'd love to see it. I mean, they got Superman and Supergirl season 2 finally, so which I'm really happy about that casting, Tyler Hoechlin, because you know me, I like Teen Wolf a lot.
Oh yeah.
Not so much the most recent 2 seasons, but up to season 3's first part with the pack of alphas was awesome.
Yeah. I tried to watch it, man. You kept trying to get me into it.
If I watch it with you, you will like
I
it.
couldn't get sucked into it.
I know you gotta be a sucker for a good love story. You know me, always the hopeless romantic. In season 4, like it improved upon some stuff, but then they beat the villain 4 different times just to have him keep coming back. It was annoying. It was like, okay, he should have lost at this point. He should have lost at this point. And then just to have it end with nukes, and it's like, oh, that's a cop out, yeah.
Totally.
But I got hope for it, man. The problem was the 2 writers left after season 2 to go write Flash. That's why
Which
Flash
makes sense.
season 1 and 2 are so good, because they're like, we're staying with Flash now.
Well, Supergirl and Flash have kind of been getting better, whereas Arrow kind of fell off.
Did you check out Supergirl?
I have.
You have? Mm-hmm. I still have. The only episode I saw was the Flash crossover.
Yeah.
Because I thought I was
Dude,
like,
I could watch 87 hours of them eating ice cream together.
it was good.
Right?
It's good. He's flat. He's fast, yeah. But let's get into the non-comic related stuff. Something pretty big. Boom, boom.
Dun, dun, dun.
Hit. And if you know where we're going this, you know we're talking about Kong!
Good.
See what I did there? It's
It's
like Star
fine.
Trek,
I
but
got
it's
you.
Kong. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, okay. So King Kong got its trailer released at Comic-Con.
Kong Skull Island.
Right. And he is fucking big.
There is a shot in this trailer where it just slowly pans up and you just see the legs and the fists.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, that is going to be my screensaver for the rest of life.
That and that the ending where like the guy standing on the mountain and he's like face to face with King Kong, and he's like the size of a nostril.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, so if you're not aware of this, I think it's Legendary Pictures, right? Okay. So they bought the rights to Kong, and they also own the rights to Godzilla. Now, if you remember Peter Jackson's Kong, he's small enough to fit on the Empire State Building. If you've seen Godzilla, he's bigger than the Empire State Building. So they need to scale him up, because they're planning a crossover film, which everybody's trying to do a shared cinematic universe, but this makes sense. There is an old Japanese version of Kong, where in the Japanese version of Kong versus Godzilla, Japanese version, Godzilla wins, American version, Kong wins. Which is cool, like that they did that. That's really cool. Good fan service there. But he even had fire breath for some reason. That's just random as hell. But they had to scale up this Kong.
yeah. That's one of the toughest things to do with these characters is you're making them the size of buildings. And how do you portray that when you have a guy who's 6 feet tall?
Do you
trying
think?
to? Yeah.
Do you think they mocapped this Kong?
No.
You don't think they mocapped him?
No.
Because the Peter Jackson one was Andy Serkis.
I mean, do they have Andy Serkis?
Dude, I'd be good with Toby Kebbell at this point.
Andy Serkis for president.
Andy
Dude,
Serkis
that guy
for
should have got an
president.
Oscar, at least a nomination for his work in Planet of the Apes.
Don?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How cool, how good was he in that? Did you,
Ape, no kill ape.
did you ever see the...
You no ape.
Did you see the video of him with the suit on and him just like walking around like a monkey with
Yeah.
like CG? He looked like it's crazy how good this guy is.
If he was in his 20s, that dude should have played Tarzan.
yeah,
Like, get him ripped and have him play Tarzan.
like he had the body language and everything out, and it was perfect. But doesn't Godzilla have?
A sequel?
Yeah, he's going up against Mothra.
Well, Mothra's going to be in it. We don't know
And-
if he's going to be against Mothra, but we do know that King Ghidorah is in
That's
it as
who it was.
well.
I couldn't
Yeah.
think of that fucking guy's name.
So I'm big into the old Japanese monster films.
Mhm.
I've seen them all. Even Frankenstein. When Frankenstein was big.
I liked Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, it's not bad. They're good. They're good, stupid movies to just enjoy.
Uh huh.
If you don't like the old monster movies, go and check out Godzilla Final Wars, which came out in 2004.
Final Wars is dope. It's basically just like a sandbox.
It's like
film.
it's
everyone. Just
it's
fucking throw everyone in there.
X-Men meeting Godzilla franchise.
Uh-huh.
It's literally Japanese mutants, and this alien race comes in, kidnaps all the monsters, and then the only monster that's left was imprisoned by the one American in the entire film while they're all speaking Japanese. He speaks English the entire time. He's like a gruff cowboy commander, like,
So
we need
westernized.
Godzilla.
It's what the East thinks westerns are.
Yeah, and it's really good because it's like the only monster left is Godzilla because he was frozen in ice a long time, like 20 years ago. So they go and release Godzilla, and it's literally a flying ship walking Godzilla because he still thinks they're fighting from when he was frozen. And they're just dragging him across the world as Godzilla just destroys monster after monster after monster. There's even a scene in it where Godzilla bitch slaps Zilla from the Roland Emmerich film. Like, he just gets dropped down in Australia, and Godzilla, like, tail whips him, and he's just like, fuck you.
One of my favorite things, the old Godzilla movies, is actually seeing how they make Godzilla happen without the CG that we're used to today.
Yeah.
Dude, like first they had a guy it was just a guy in
a suit. Yep.
and it was fucking, if I recall, did they puppeteer him? What the hell did they do for like the...
No, so he was in a full bodysuit, and it was so hot in the suit, they had to constantly take it off, give him water, put water in it, and, like, basically he passed out, like, 5 times, I want to say,
That's
during filming.
awesome.
Yeah. So, like,
That's dedication.
and then you can see in certain movies, the suits were a lot lighter and crappier, but I love those freaking movies. They do so. There's the new one coming out too, the Godzilla Resurgence.
The old sets too, where it was just basically just like a model set that's
Yeah.
built to a 6 foot tall man, and he's just smacking shit over.
All right, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. I used to think movies were real.
I remember. It's
Okay.
funny. You told me.
I used to think movies were real,
Why is Japan getting attacked by that monster?
and I was a young child, But my dad was the one who introduced me to all these movies, and I remember asking him one time, like, how is Japan okay? Like, why doesn't Godzilla attack anyone else? Like, and I remember being so young that when it was, I gotta be 6. Yeah, 6. When Roland Emmerich's film came out, I'm like, Godzilla's coming to New York? We're screwed! Like,
They know it's coming. Why don't we stop it? What is this?
It was bad. I'm not lying. That's the worst part. Like, who's your favorite monster from those types of films of all time?
Are we talking like those old monster movies?
Yeah, like the Godzilla monster films. It could even be like Pull Out Gamera. Anything from Kong, because there's been like 20 Kong films as well.
I mean, if I'm allowed to go Frankenstein,
Really?
he's my favorite. The only reason is because my parents. This is a really fun, odd thing, but they loved the Munsters, so I would be forced to sit there and watch the Munsters with them. And for some reason, Herman Munster was awesome to me. So I'm just like, who's that guy? And they're like, Frankenstein. So then I went and watched Frankenstein. But the first Frankenstein I watched was the Mel Brooks Young Frankenstein.
Okay.
So I'm like, dude, this guy's awesome. I'm laughing my ass off, not realizing that the original Frankenstein was like a scary fucking...
Well, the original Frankenstein was Frankenstein's monster.
Right.
Yeah, Mary Shelley's.
So I thought my Frankenstein was like a funny, loving family dad. And then all of a sudden I watch Mel Brooks and he's funny and there's all this funny stuff. I'm like, dude, Frankenstein's fucking awesome. So just for the sentimental reasons, the Frankenstein, who would you go with?
If we're going like the Americanized monster films and stuff like that, Wolfman all day. I freaking love werewolves. It's part of the reason why I watch Teen Wolf. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, it's werewolves. I gotta give it a chance, and it's awesome. Love werewolves, but listen, I will never argue that Godzilla doesn't beat every monster. I'll never argue that. He's the king of monsters for a reason. He's not meant to lose. He has lost, but it's like Superman. He's not meant to lose. But I gotta give it up to my boy Gamera.
Gamera?
Savior of the children! Come to me, flying Gamera! I love Gamera. I don't know why. It's the turtle who loves kids. Like, it's cool.
Just a giant fucking turtle.
Yeah, I do like. There was a Godzilla villain named Gabara, and this is my favorite Godzilla movie still to this day. Godzilla's Revenge, where it's like son of Godzilla is in there. Minya, calling Monster Island, come here, Monster Island. And it's like Minya's friends with this kid, and it's all in the kid's head. And it's just his way of escaping from his harsh reality. Mm-hmm. Like, he's kidnapped, and in order to escape it, he goes into his, like, imagination. He's on a monster island with Minya, and Minya has to step up to this bully. And the bully's name is Gabara. And Gabara is, like, this big, like, aqua-colored monster that's just sitting there, like... like, that's literally how he sounds. Like, he's just, like, a mocking sound. Mm-hmm. And... I don't know why I loved Gabara, because it's like, yeah, fuck Gabara. Like, what a bully. It's like, step on his tail. Like, yeah, so it's up there. Mm-hmm. Well, that should conclude our Comic-Con topics. Mm. While we're here, it's time, Adam.
For what?
For that weekly topic we like to argue about.
For that weekly debate?
I want to say that today... it's probably a special day.
Yeah?
Yeah. You know what we have in store for you guys? Something amazing. Adam's got a list of who he believes is the best rogues gallery in comics. And I disagree with him. Would you like to start?
My favorite part is how we come up with these discussions. Because we're always like, alright, what's going to be this week's debate? And then you always say something stupid.
I say something stupid!
And then we start arguing off podcast. And we're like, alright, hold on. Let's not argue right now. Let's save it. And we were just both getting heated and we're like, alright, let's just fucking wait.
It usually starts over breakfast and a cup of coffee.
But with that said, we are about to debate who's got the best rogue gallery.
Adam, who'd you pick?
Of course I said Batman.
And of course I said
And you stupidly said...
you're flawed. And I went with Spider-Man.
Okay. So with that said...
real quick, Batman your favorite character?
He absolutely is.
Spider-Man's mine.
Yeah.
So, no surprise here why we picked these guys.
But, so, we both went and said our both top 10 villains from each superhero, because if we sat here and debated every single villain, it would get it all out of hand.
We acknowledge that they're both great in their own ways. So fanboys out there, don't rush to hating. Just listen. Alright.
Okay, but for my top 10 Batman villains of why it's the best rogue gallery, I'm going at number 10, Riddler.
Okay.
Number 9 is Poison Ivy.
Okay.
Number 8 is Catwoman.
Okay.
Number 7 is the Court of Owls.
Okay. I mean, that's a group, but we'll allow it.
Yeah, you tell me you don't have a group on your list?
Well, that's why I allow
Alright,
it.
then.
Alright.
Number 6 is kind of a newer person, Hush.
Okay.
Number 5, Raj Al Ghul. Raj. I say Raj.
Raj is from the Big Bang Theory.
How funny would that be if he Raj Al Ghul?
Batman sauce!
Number 4, I put Scarecrow. Number 3, Penguin.
Number 4, Scarecrow?
Number 4, Scarecrow. Number 2, Bane. And number 1, of course, Crazy Quilt.
Of course.
Joker's number 1.
Yeah.
Who is your top 10 Spider-Man villains? I can hear the bullshit now.
Number 10, Hobgoblin.
Okay.
Number 9, Sandman.
Okay.
Number 8, Black Cat.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, Mysterio.
Oh, good pick.
Thank you. So underutilized.
Very.
Number 6, and it's funny that I picked them as number 6. Sinister Six.
Sanders just said, you did that on purpose?
Yeah, no, I didn't. I just saw that. Yeah. Number 5 is Doc Ock. Which, yes, okay. Before you jump down my throat, I know he's part of the Sinister Six. Sometimes, just chill.
Doc Ock. Oh, well, best part of Spider-Man 2.
Yes,
Go
he's
on.
great. Number 4 is the Lizard.
Okay.
Number 3 is Carnage.
Carnage.
Number 2, and I know he's prominently Daredevil, but if you grew up with the Spider-Man cartoon in the 90s like me, you know one of the best parts of it was Kingpin.
Yeah. Kingpin's great.
Yeah. Especially, man, could you imagine D'Onofrio and Tom Holland squaring off?
Anything Tom. Dude, I could watch Tom Holland talk about peanut butter and jelly for 20
Yeah.
minutes. I'm okay with it.
And number 1 is Batroc the Leaper. It's Green Goblin. See, I can do that too.
Yeah? That was funnier.
No way.
Alright. So, I'll let you start. Why is Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery better than Batman's?
Okay. And I give that they both kind of do this, but Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery pulls from all the villains within the Marvel Universe, just like Batman kind of does as well.
Okay.
But I think with Spider-Man, you just have the diversity and the threat level. So, like, he's not the character that's just supposed to be able to beat everybody, who's smarter, better, stronger, whether or not he's the most physical threat. You know,
That's what's putting Marvel over the top over DC for the past.
More relatable
recently
characters.
DC's been doing better, but for the past 75 years, Marvel is better because you're so relatable. Captain America's just some guy from Brooklyn. Spider-Man's a kid who's got to somehow do his homework while save the world.
yeah, going through
Whereas
puberty
DC
and stuff like
DC
that, yeah.
Superman is a fucking god.
God. So it's Wonder
Batman
Woman.
is like he's
And
human,
that-
but you can't beat him because
No.
he's almost unhuman.
Let me ask you something real quick. DC, their entire lineup is essentially godlike beings, right? Batman is one of the most popular, if not the most popular, in there because he's the only human that is better than all of them. Would Batman be as cool if he was in Marvel? If he was a Marvel character, Batman, would he be as
No,
cool?
I don't think so because DC's so much darker that you're allowed to do more things in that dark realm as compared to Marvel, where the most evil guys are still bright and they're kind of fun in the sense of like, look at Carnage, he's still giant red suited,
Yeah.
whereas Batman, everything is fucking dark. He lives in a cave.
So, like, say Marvel had that, and this is why I bring this up, because I think the only reason why Batman is as popular as he is, and I love Batman. Love Batman. Conroy for Prez. But it's just because he's the human on that roster.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yeah.
But I mean, what if?
Yeah,
What
exactly. It's a what if. I just think that's interesting.
Right.
Food for thought. Food
Right.
for thought.
Interesting. You didn't put Venom on there though.
No,
It just hit me.
Okay, so my number 3 was Carnage, and it was actually, I have it, if you can see it's crossed out here, that Venom was number 3. But recently, Venom has been more of an anti-hero.
With the Venom Space Knight.
Yeah, and like Eddie Brock is Agent Venom.
Mm-hmm.
Or is it Flash Thompson? I think it's Flash. Yeah, it's Flash Thompson.
It's Flash Thompson.
Yeah, it's
I like Eddie Brock personally, but
Well, he's the original Venom.
yeah, I got the comic sitting over there.
Yep.
It's fucking great.
But I've also always liked Venom as a character. Because he is my favorite Spider-Man villain because of his dual personality as, like, he can be Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just whoever wears that symbiote is either corrupted or it feeds off their... So that's why I think it's cool that, like, Venom can be a hero and cannot be. And that's why I kept him off the list. Because if Venom is a hero, he's a great character. And as a villain, he's a great character. But personally, I think he's better served as that anti-hero.
He's reached anti-hero status.
Yes.
If there was a list of anti-heroes,
He'd be up there.
he's probably number one, top three.
Deathstroke would be up there, too. You know?
Yeah, top three.
Yeah.
Deadpool.
Yeah.
But, okay, continue. Why is Spider-Man's Rogue Gallery better than Batman's?
Because here's the thing. Spider-Man is a kid going up against all these, adults, per se. And he doesn't have the financial backing or resources that a Bruce Wayne has. All he's got is the powers he was given by that spider bite.
Mm-hmm.
He's strong, agile, spider sense, smart,
Yeah,
very
he
intelligent.
builds all his own stuff.
Yep. But I would say his gallery is more cruel altogether towards him than Batman's villains have been towards him. And yes, okay, we can take into account Joker shooting Barbara Gordon. We can take into account Joker killing Robin, Jason Todd, and anyone else he's killed, and all the bad stuff that's happened to Batman. However, the one thing that comes to my mind, Batman is an adult. Yes, his parents were murdered when he was a kid. Uncle Ben was killed. Batman is an adult and has never strayed from his directive, his path. He doesn't use guns, and he doesn't kill. And you can argue, that one time. Yes, that one time that is not in continuity, that is out of character, that is just for a shock value.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man has been killed by his enemies.
Yeah, they've had Superior Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man, and they had all these different...
They have succeeded where Batman's villains have failed.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they are more threatening to Peter Parker, a.k.a. Spider-Man, than Batman's villains have been towards him. Mm-hmm. You're never going to break Batman mentally. Never. Spider-Man has broken many times. And been killed. And I'll get into it when I hear your reasons.
So, the reason Batman has the best Rogue Gallery is because I can argue that he has been broken mentally. He has been broken physically. Everything has been taken away from him from these villains. And these villains just aren't all physical or all mental. They break him in 87 different ways. Starting with number one is, of course, Joker. And Joker he has killed one of his Robins, almost killed his entire family in Death of a Family, with him thinking that he cut off all their faces, which is it's actually what got me into comics, is that scene of him sitting at the kitchen table, and he lifts up all the dinner trays and all their faces. That is amazing to me.
That ending of that was a total cop-out.
Very. I think they meant to kill Alfred in that, but DC's like, no, you can't do that, because he is the glue that holds the Bat family together.
Yeah.
He has been broken physically by Bane with that snap of the back.
I would put Bane as number one.
You and I discussed that. The reason Joker's number one is just one, popularity.
Mm-hmm.
But if we put popularity aside, he has attacked Batman mentally, and mental attack is worse than physical attack.
I disagree.
Would you rather die or have your family die?
I'd rather die.
Exactly.
That's not mental, though.
Exactly.
That's physical.
So you would rather die physically than die mentally.
Yeah, because physical's worse. Wait, I don't know.
He's running. The hamster's running. He's getting there.
he fell for a second. Let me get back up. Okay, but that's not... I mean, that's physical. Go on.
So, when Jason Todd died, that is Batman's biggest mistake, is having Jason Todd die. And when Joker has broken him mentally so many times, and the fact that Batman is the world's greatest detective, and he can't figure out this one guy, the most dangerous of all his villains, is what drives him crazy. But I'll get off of Joker, because I could talk about him for 87 hours. Penguin, I put him up there because of the
crime aspect
of it. Thank you. He has all of his soldiers that he goes and corrupts all of his henchmen. Scarecrow, I put Forge. just because it was one of his very first villains, as well as his fear toxin. His fear toxin.
I would have kept Scarecrow off the list.
Really, who would you have put in his place?
Did you do Killer Croc?
I did not.
I would put Killer Croc.
I could see it.
Scarecrow to me has just always been like, yeah, he's got the fear toxin, but if Batman wears a mask, not really that big of a threat.
Drew, you just put a breather on her
Yeah.
phone. Ra's al Ghul, number 5.
Rage.
Because he's the one that taught Batman.
Yeah.
He taught him everything he knows.
Was it always,
So-
and you'll probably know this, but so was he always the one who taught Batman, or was it Nolan's retcon in the movie that changed the storyline?
Nah, he's always...
He's always been the one who taught Batman?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, the reason I really want to talk about Hush. Hush is one of my favorite Batman villains.
Okay.
If you don't know Hush, just a quick overview of him is... He is Batman's best friend from childhood.
What's his name? Is it Thomas Elliot? Something Elliot, right?
Something like that. I should know this, but I can't think of it right
I
now.
think it is Thomas Elliot because we have a friend.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm pretty sure he is the
So
same name.
he
Yeah.
is Batman's best friend from childhood, but Hush wanted to be Bruce Wayne so bad. As a child, he actually killed his own parents to be more like him, and then grew up. And when Bruce Wayne was like, "Whoa, this is way too much. So let's not be friends anymore." Essentially, this is a super summarized version of it, but he was like, "This isn't okay. I'm gonna break you." So Hush is one of the coolest, most mysterious guys.
Isn't he like a plastic surgeon and he changes his
Yep.
So
That's
I
why he
remember
wears
from
the mask.
The Arkham games.
Right. I actually have a comic over there of him kicking Alfred, but... So he's one of the coolest guys. Then I went Court of Owls, because... What was funny is when Scott Snyder was writing Court of Owls, he was like, a bat's enemy isn't a clown, it's an owl. I'm gonna make an owl. So he made the Court of Owls to attack.
Now, my question is, you've seen Justice League Crisis on
Infinite Earth?
Infinite Earths. Is that the name of the movie?
I think so. Which
Oh.
we talking the movie or the comic
Yeah,
series?
the movie, the animated movie. Where Owlman, remember it had like the parallels of all the characters? Like Lex Luthor
Oh!
and
Yes, I know exactly where it's not exactly
Right.
Batman, it's like a
Owlman,
different...
and he's a villain. Is Owlman from Court of Owls? Because I've
No.
never read anything from Court of Owls.
No, that's a brand new character they made for that. That's a brand new character they made for that.
Okay.
But no, the Court of Owls is essentially kind of like a penguin thing, where it's just a group of secret society,
Okay.
and they just go around and fuck shit up.
Okay.
Then I think the two most deadliest I think might be on this list are Catwoman and Poison Ivy, because they can use their sexuality to their advantage. Catwoman and Batman have pretty much dated
Bruce Wayne.
Bruce Wayne a
Selena
million.
Kyle.
Yeah.
Hating his cat.
I don't think about it. I probably would put Two-Face over Scarecrow. Now that I'm thinking of it. But
Oh,
anyways,
I forgot about Two-Face.
yeah. Anyways,
I need it. Can we trust it?
and Poison Ivy uses her sexuality better than anyone in comics.
She is.
With her flowers and pheromones to get to men. And lastly, Riddler, just for the mental aspect. It's just a game to him. And it's so cool, that element of it's just a game. I'm going to play with you. You're my toy. Let's fuck her up mentally.
Rebuttal time?
Rebuttal time.
Alright. Riddler should not be on the list.
Yeah, you and I were debating it. I would probably move him down and put Two-Face in.
When you told me you were going to put Riddler on the list, I put Hobgoblin on my list.
I personally like Riddler just for that mental aspect of...
But
it's a riddle. Let's have some
He
fun.
is a direct ripoff of the Joker.
Yeah, Joker came before him.
Yes, he's like Riddler. The whole point of Riddler is supposed to be, oh, he is intelligent. He is Batman's most intelligent villain.
Enigma, yeah.
But he's not. He's actually one of the stupidest villains because, and I know stupidest isn't a
Yeah,
word.
stupidest.
Yeah, he's one of the more or less
You can do it. Hamster's running.
intelligent. That's the best he got. I would say Riddler is basically discount Joker when it comes down to it, because at no point in time has he ever tripped up Batman. Like, yeah, oh yeah, he might have threw him off the trail or something like that, but he's never sat there and just directly beaten him. Mm-hmm. And listen, Joker has done all that to Batman, and again, comics are what they are, but there's a lot of stuff in comics that they happen for just shock value. when has the Joker actually broken the bat?
Killing Joke.
Killing Joke. When he shoots Barbara Gordon.
Right. That and when he kills Jason Todd.
Okay. Green Goblin kills Gwen Stacy.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Parker's love interest at the time. While she's pregnant with the Green Goblin's child. Twins. That he technically raped. But she cheated on him.
Technicality.
Yeah, it's a technicality. He made her love him, and she cheated on him. I would say that's right up there with killing a Robin that Batman didn't even really like.
He loved Jason
He
Todd.
did not love Jason Todd. Robin he's ever loved was Dick Grayson until they wrote in that he actually had a son in Damian.
Mm-hmm.
He loves Dick Grayson.
Yeah.
Jason Todd, he was just trying to get him off the street. He was like, all right, this kid has potential. Let me see if I can help him. Yeah, he might have an affection towards Jason Todd, but he doesn't love him like a son. There's no way you can tell me he loves Jason Todd or Tim Drake like sons.
He definitely likes Dick Grayson more.
Yeah.
I'll give you that. He definitely likes Dick Grayson more.
And I don't even think he really loves Damian. I think it's more like a...
You're forced to?
Yeah, you kind of have an obligation here. Because
No.
I... Also, World's Greatest Detective? Huh? How come we didn't sense that potency stuff that Talia used to rape him?
Everybody gets one.
Everybody gets one. So he's a Spider-Man. But I would argue that Goblin is essentially... So, and this is the big thing. Spider-Man and Batman are essentially mirror characters.
There's a lot of comparisons to him.
Yes. If you're into Marvel Comics, you'll sit there and go, oh, Moon Knight. Yes, as a direct character comparison, he was a ripoff of Batman. That's the whole point of Moon Knight, is to be their Batman. But whether or not it was on purpose, a long time ago, when Stan Lee created Spider-Man, there was mirror images through Batman.
Mm-hmm. Hell, even Punisher is... You can make the argument.
Yeah. Like, and again, it's comics. It's like that.
Mm-hmm.
But Goblin is as close to the Marvel Universe's Joker as you can get. He's a psychopath, and he's got this great split personality in Norman Osborn, who is intelligent, who I would argue is the genius side of the Batman villains, you know?
But what sets apart Green Goblin and the Joker for me is the relationship between Joker Batman versus Spider-Man Green Goblin.
Which is more difficult for you to get past? Is it the fact that Joker is Batman's greatest, I would not mistake, but his greatest challenge? Because he wants to cure Joker. That's the whole point of Batman. That's why he won't kill him. He wants there to be... If he cures Joker, it is proof that what he is doing is right. It's working. That's Batman's mission, is to save people, even if they're the bad guys. But Goblin, I would argue, is a father figure. Norman Osborn is a father figure to Peter Parker. Peter was always Norman's favorite kid in the house. He always was like, oh, yeah, that's great, Harry, but Peter, how are you doing? Like, you know, he was more of a father figure to Peter Parker than he was to his own son. And then to have that utter betrayal of, you're the Green Goblin, you're trying to kill me because I'm Spider-Man and doing this, that's heartbreaking.
Very. But what's more interesting to me isn't the Batman relationship to Joker, but the Joker relationship to Batman. Joker loves the Batman. He wouldn't exist without him.
Yes.
That's
I
what
agree.
finds
I
so
agree with
interesting.
that, yeah. I can
It's
see
the...
that.
I think it was in Arkham Knight, the video game, where Joker's talking to Harley Quinn, and Joker's like, you ever love someone so much that you can't live without him? And Harley Quinn thinks
Yep.
he's talking about her, but really he's talking about Batman.
Yep.
That's more powerful because it's not, this guy's in my way and I want to get rich, which many villains are. I'm not talking about Green Goblin in this instance, but
Right.
every other villain is like the Red Skull, I want to rule the world. Or if you take
He just
fucking
wants to, he just
Loki,
wants,
I want power, I want money, I want control. Joker doesn't want any of that.
He just wants to beat the Batman.
if you look at The Dark Knight, the movie, when he just burns the money, he doesn't want money.
Would you say that so Batman's greatest task is to try to save the Joker? Would you say that Joker's greatest task is to try to get Batman to kill him?
Yes, his goal, Joker's ultimate goal is to prove that everyone has a breaking point. What's the quote? It's everyone's just one bad day away from going insane or something along those lines.
You're one bad day away from being me.
Yes,
and
something
that's
like
Punisher from Daredevil season 2.
So
yeah,
that's absolutely what he wants. Batman wants to prove Joker. He wants to save Joker in the sense of, I'm going to heal you, you can be normal and be sane. Well, Joker's like, nah, I'm going to prove everyone's fucking insane and make you just as crazy as I am.
all right. Well,
That's the relationship that I love. It's that back and forth of, I'm going to change you, no, you're going to kill me.
Well, let's get off these two. It's up to you guys to decide. It's ultimately, these are our opinions. And, comment, let us know what you guys think on these two.
So if we put aside the Joker,
Goblin.
set those two apart,
Who's your number 2?
I have Bane as my number 2.
You have Bane as your number 2?
Because of the physical aspect.
Okay. I think my number 2 fits more along with your number 3, which was Penguin, right?
Right, so if we'll compare those two for now.
Kingpin and Penguin are pretty much identical characters, except for one thing. Kingpin is a physical threat, where Penguin is not in any way. Both crime bosses, they have basically an empire behind them. Mm-hmm. I would love to hear how you're gonna say Penguin is a better character than Kingpin.
I'm not.
Okay.
I'll give you that. I'll give Kingpin better than Penguin.
I will give you. Okay, so we'll rate this as far as we go. I will give you Joker over Goblin.
Okay.
I will, even though I prefer Goblin. I will give you Joker just because. Yes, better character. I agree.
Mm-hmm. And I will give you Penguin. Excuse me. I'll give you Kingpin over Penguin.
So right now it's 1-1. M-A 1-1. Okay.
Then if we.
Okay, so your number 2 was Bane.
Bane. Ooh, Carnage. I'm thinking. I think Bane over Carnage just for the simple fact of the history behind it. Bane has done so much more to Batman than
Carnage took over the world.
Yeah, but how long has Bane been out? And he literally broke his back and buried him with his family.
Bane has done that, yes, but Carnage also possesses one ability that I think trumps Bane.
What's that?
He can take over anyone.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's Carnage USA is a good storyline to describe this. Basically, Carnage goes around the entire world infecting everybody.
Uh-huh.
And Spider-Man is the only one who's like, he takes over the Thing. So imagine if they were to fight, Carnage would just take him over. Fight's over.
I mean, if we're talking fighting, yes, Carnage I think will beat Bane. But if we're talking the better villain, I think
I would give it to Bane.
Yeah.
I would give it to Bane as a better villain, but just...
In a fight, I'm giving it to Carnage. But as a better villain, I'm giving it to Bane.
How would you rule this?
Dude, that's tough.
Yeah.
We need a third person, so we need the audience.
You guys decide.
We'll call it a push for now.
Yeah, we'll call that a push. Okay.
Your number 4 was
Lizard.
I have it as Scarecrow, but I kind of want to push him back. But I'll keep it at Scarecrow just for the sake of argument.
Both doctors.
Both doctors. This is actually kind of a good one.
Yeah,
both doctors.
I put Lizard in there expecting you to put in Killer Croc, and I was expecting that to just be a wash because they're mere characters.
No, Scarecrow. I'm keeping Scarecrow. Just for of his fear toxin, you can do so much with it. You can put it in a town and infect thousands.
That scene in Arkham Knight when the fear toxin's just in the entire city and you have to glide over it. Mm-hmm. That's still my Xbox dashboard.
Yeah,
because I took a gamer pic of that. Like physically, Lizard whoops. And here's what I'm gonna say. Okay, Batman does not have a relationship to Crane.
No, he doesn't know him. He's just a doctor. He's just a regular. Doesn't know him. Whereas Lizard, fuck is his name?
Pete Connors.
Pete Connors. Thank you. Yes, he knows him because he was a
father figure.
Yeah, he was a professor.
Someone he looks up to, and then just that utter betrayal when he realizes he's one of.
So on the personal level, I'm giving it to Lizard.
We're gonna give this one to Lizard.
But on a villain level, where more deadlier, Scarecrow.
Lizard. Because the fear toxin doesn't kill. It makes you go insane. But again...
True, for a short period of time.
Yeah, that's
it's
easily beat with just a fucking gas mask.
Mm-hmm. Or the antidote that
has. And the whole thing is, too, remember in Amazing Spider-Man, he does basically the same thing Scarecrow does. He turns people into lizards. You remember that?
Yeah. Okay. Ooh, that's another tough one, but I think I could give it to you.
Okay.
Mark, you did. Yeah. What's your number 5?
Doc Ock.
I have Ra's al Ghul. Sorry, I lost it on my list. I have Ra's al Ghul.
You can pick, and I'll allow you to pick someone you think matches up better.
No, I got Ra's al Ghul.
Okay.
I'm giving it to Ra's al Ghul. He's got the League of Shadows. Dude, you can't beat the League of Shadows, man.
Okay, listen. There's no denying how great of a character Ra's al Ghul is. But there's something about a man who is smarter and also becomes Spider-Man.
But Ra's al Ghul can't die.
He can.
He's got the fucking
So don't let his body get put in him.
That's a big if.
That's not an if. Okay. Do you remember that movie Jeepers Creepers?
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember how the dude has him chained up at the end of Jeepers Creepers 2 and he's just waiting for it to come back?
Yes.
Okay. Why didn't you cut his body apart into little pieces?
Because then you wouldn't have a movie.
Hang on. We haven't gotten a third one. You cut it. Same thing with Ra's al Ghul. Ready? Cut his body into little pieces. Spread it across the world in chests that like you'd have to go on some insane fucking mission to get him back.
I mean, yeah, you could do that if you can get to him. In
Yeah.
his League of Assassins.
But Batman's done it multiple times.
Yeah, Batman don't kill though.
I mean, he kind of.
But-
let's go to Arkham City to discuss this real quick. Kicks him out of a skyscraper, and then he falls off.
So Ra's al Ghul over
his pointed fence.
Doc Ock. I'm still going with Ra's al Ghul as a better villain.
I could try to argue this all day, but I really do. I believe Ra's is a better villain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who was your number 6?
Okay, so it was the Sinister
Oh,
Six.
mine Hush, but I'm thinking I'm going to put the Court of Owls up
Let's
there
put
just
the
to
Court of
have
Owls.
group versus
Okay.
group.
Listen, and here's where Doc Ock is going to get his reprieve because he is a part of this organization. The Sinister Six has been many different characters over time. I think the main 3 in it were always Vulture, Doc Ock, and was it Rhino or Goblin?
Vulture. There's Electro.
Oh, Electro. Man, I forgot about it. You know, Amazing Spider-Man 2 fucked me on Electro, because I used to love Electro until
Yeah.
I saw, Now You See Me.
Mm-hmm.
Fucking stupid movie.
I gotta give the Sinister Six. Why can't I say that?
The hamster pal.
Six. But I personally like the Court of Owls just because of their kind of a dark, mysterious,
But more of a threat.
but more of a threat to Sinister Six.
Sinister Six, okay.
It's all day. And what was your 7?
Mysterio.
I'm giving it to Hush.
You're going to go Hush on
Just
that?
for that personal level. He's his best friend. He knows everything about him. On a threat level of, like, he's basically like the, almost like your Doc Ock or your...
I'm going Mysterio just based on his name implies it. Who is he? What is he? Is it magic? Is it real?
Yeah?
Is it fake?
This is a tough one, too.
Dude, okay. And listen, Mysterio is one of those rare characters that is severely underutilized in the comics, whereas you don't always get a good iteration. He could just be a one-off, and Spider-Man comes in, knocks his helmet off, and wins. But if you use Mysterio right, he is one of those characters that could just basically be like a villainous Doctor Strange. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he should be a lot better than what he is received as.
But what's the most important thing to a superhero? Their identity. Hush knows who he is.
Hush doesn't know Batman is Bruce Wayne.
He does.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
No, he does not.
We're going to have to go to the internet for this.
Yeah, go to the Hush comic, but then also relate to... Yes, in a certain iteration, he probably does know. But if you look at the Arkham Knight game, remember, he doesn't know Batman is Bruce Wayne, and he just tries to take over Wayne Enterprise.
Yes, but at the ending of Hush, we learned that Hush learned it from the Riddler even before the beginning of the story arc. So he knew it the whole time.
Man, I fucking hate continuity issues.
That's what helps me win arguments.
All right, I will give it to Hush on this one, just because, like I said, Mysterio is so underutilized as a character.
Dude, if they used him more, I'm giving it to him all day as well.
He's such a cool character, but they do nothing with him.
Mm-hmm.
All
So,
right.
your number 8 is
Black Cat.
Catwoman. This is a push.
This is a
They're
push.
literally identical
They are
characters.
the same thing, meant to be love interests.
I could literally, I was about to say,
Yeah.
Batman and Catwoman love each other, and you would go, Black Cat and Spider-Man love each
Yeah.
other. So we can't. They're identical
and they're also
characters.
both heroes at certain times when it's good for them to be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's a push.
Okay, Poison Ivy versus who you have?
Sandman.
These are very different characters. This is an interesting one. I'm saying Poison Ivy because she has the ability to basically mind control Batman and his Bat family. We see her take control over Robin a bunch of times.
Are you referring to the classic George Clooney Batman and Robin?
She did that as well, yes.
Almost got him to use his Bat credit card.
But what I do have to say about Sandman in
Okay,
the
let me ask you this before we bring up Sandman. Is the continuity of him being the one who killed Uncle Ben from the comics?
I personally don't like it, but the thing about comics is you could just pull up all these random sources and be like, well, he did this and this and this. Whereas I could be like, no, he didn't because in this and this and this.
Right. I'm going to base it off of, and this is because listen, I've said it before, I'm not as fluent as comic storylines as my counterpart here is, but I'm going to pull it off Sam Raimi's third film, which while it lacked in certain features, I think Sandman was one of the best parts of that movie, especially when you add in the aspect he was trying to, like, it was heartbreaking to sit there. One of the most amazing scenes in a otherwise terrible movie was when he's willing himself back to life after the particle accelerator thing, and you just see him trying to reach and grab his necklace with his daughter's picture, and then seeing how he didn't mean to kill Uncle Ben. Like, dude, so good. That was so good.
What I love and hate about comics is that they're all related. I love it because you get that personal, like, you killed my uncle, but I hate it because how does every villain somehow relate back to this one person? You're either a professor or you killed an uncle or you can't just be some guy that robbed a liquor store and got bitten by a spider or something.
I mean, he'd be Spider-Man.
Right. But, I mean, you just can't be some rando that happens to get these powers and, like, you know what, I'm gonna fuck shit up, and then you gotta bring in Spider-Man. That's what I like about Batman so much, is not everyone's related in that way.
Well, that's the same with not everyone's related in... Listen,
Spider-Man? Everyone's related to Spider-Man.
No.
Which one on that list isn't?
Mysterio.
Okay, that's 1 out of 10.
Doc Ock has no relation to Spider-Man.
It's a fucking teaser of his.
Only in the movie. Only in the movie.
Okay, you know your Spider-Man more than me, so I'll take it. Your word on it.
It was, because he was a professor, all that shit happened, and I'm almost positive here he had no relation to Peter Parker before that.
Okay. But besides that...
Because that was the thing, though. They related everyone in the movies to Peter Parker in some way. Like, who was Vulture before Spider-Man?
Yeah, you're up on your Spider-Man more than me.
Yeah. Carnage, he had no relationship to Cletus
Yeah,
Cassidy.
he was just some crazy ass... Carnage is a great character, man.
Hobgoblin had no relation to Peter Parker. He had a relation to Norman Osborn. And that's where he got the tech.
But Sandman versus Poison Ivy. I'm still giving it to Poison Ivy just for the mental aspect.
Yeah, and then I could say you're giving it to Poison Ivy as a threat. I think Sandman is more of a threat.
More of a physical threat, yes, but Poison Ivy is that mental threat. I'm always putting.
She's not mental though.
She can control the Bat family.
She can control anybody, so that's more physical than it is mental.
That is all mental.
How is that mental? It's
if
a spore.
If I control you, I'm not physically harming you.
Yes, but if the spore is taken away, then she's not controlling them. So it's a physical thing that is affecting
If I take the symbiote away from Carnage, he's nothing either.
He's still a psychopathic murderer.
Right, he's psychopathic.
She wasn't a psychopathic murderer before she got transformed.
How easy is it for Spider-Man to kill a psychopath?
He doesn't kill.
How easy for him to stop a psychopath?
Probably easy.
Exactly, so he's no threat at all without that symbiote.
So is Poison Ivy.
Exactly, that's exactly my
argument. No. Cletus Cassidy is still a threat. Because, what if he doesn't catch him, he gets away, and then he kills somebody he loves? Poison Ivy wouldn't kill anybody if she was not Poison Ivy.
Right, but that's like saying an offense would score 1,000,000 points if there was no defense.
Maybe not 1,000,000. At the end of the day, and I'm really pissed, we gotta do this. At the end of the day, I think both their rogues are too diverse, and you could pull from the entire universe if you wanted to. Mm-hmm. And argue, like, listen, Goblin is a mirror Joker. You can argue it, but he is.
I will argue it, but I'll let you go.
Listen, well, I would... Listen, you'd be wrong, because the whole point of Goblin is to be the Joker to the Spider-Man, essentially. You know? Yes, they might be characterally different, but the whole purpose of them is to be the same thing. Again, Kingpin and Penguin mirror, other than the physical. They went physical for Kingpin, they didn't. Lizard, Killer Croc, if you want to throw them in. Mirror fucking characters. Sandman, Clayface.
Yeah, that's an obvious one.
Hobgoblin, Riddler.
Yeah. So, very close, however...
Hush, Norman Osborn.
Yeah. Oh, Hush, because childhood friend, and then if you go with childhood friend of...
You could go Peter, or Harry Osborn.
Yeah.
They're so relatable. Black Cat, Catwoman. You know,
yeah, they're literally named the fucking same thing.
I know. It's a push either way you look at it, because at the end of the day, it comes down to your opinion of who you care about. I I'm gonna stick with Spider-Man's rogues are better.
I'm sticking with the Joker all day.
And I respect your opinion, sir, however wrong you may be. But I think that's going to conclude this special. It's up to you guys. Decide. Let us know. Comment. If you guys disagree, let us know what you think. Give us your top 10. If you think we're a bunch of douchebags just sitting here spewing shit, then go fuck yourself. As always,
he is Mike.
he's the reviewer you deserve, but not the one you need. Keep it tight.